Welcome to the Pinter Beer Chef, a channel dedicated to the Pinter 3. Here you'll learn everything you need to know to brew like a pro. Okay, this is a quick video just to cover two issues that you might face when you've finished a brew and you've drank your Pinter 3 dry when it comes to beginning the process of cleaning it and sanitizing it. Two issues that you might face we're going to look at today. One, carbonation dial is totally stuck from all the residue that's dried off with the fermenting beer, so you can't move the carbonation dial. And two, you can't unscrew the cap. You know, the same thing really, the fermentables inside, the fermentation process, the sugars, the stickiness, it's all dried off and the cap is super stuck, so you can't unscrew it. So we'll take them one at a time. We'll get the Pinter over to the sink and I will talk you through what to do to get you through both of these issues without damaging your Pinter 3. Okay, number one, if your carbonation dial is stuck after you brew, this is stuck fast from the stickiness. It's very stiff. Definitely can't turn it. I don't recommend that you get pliers or force this dial around. You could damage the dial and the internal workings of this. It's only plastic, it's only spring-loaded pressure valve, so it'd be easy to damage and cause yourself a right headache. So I wouldn't risk damaging the device, damaging the vessel, just to free this up. So I find that the simplest way to do it is fill your sink halfway with hot, it has to be pretty hot, not boiling, but nice and hot tap water with some detergent, bubbles in it. Obviously you can't turn the carbonation dial off to let the pressure out because it's already stuck. I've already depressurized this mostly, so there shouldn't be too much to contaminate this sink now, but just for the sake of illustration, you know, go like that, make sure that all the pressure is out of the vessel, pop your tap off, flick your Pinter up in the sink. It's going to bobble about a bit because of course it's kind of like got a tendency to float. And just get your Pinter balanced in the sink, leave it sit like that for 10 to 15 minutes in the hot soapy water, and we'll come back and check the carbonation dial. 9 out of 10 times after 10 minutes in hot soapy water, that dial will be freed back to its normal operating position and it'll be working fine. So we'll give it 10 minutes, I'll come back and I'll show you how to proceed with it. So it's been soaking for 10 minutes now, we'll give it a little try. You can see now the dial is moving very easily. It's back to usual operation. So it's going to be fine now. I'll leave it in the off position. It's going to be fine now to proceed and clean your Pinter in the usual way. No matter how careful you are throughout the duration of your Pinter ownership, no matter how careful you are trying to take care of your Pinter, cleaning it, at some point you'll probably find that water gets trapped in between the plastic shell and the actual brewing vessel inside itself. Now, there's a simple way to release the water from this. I mean, this can happen from just splashing it when you're splashing water inside here. When you clean it, sanitizing it, water can get down the gap between the shell and that. You know, no matter how careful you are, sooner or later you're going to find it happens. But when it does, it's really not an issue to let the water out of here. Pinter have put in a removable foot here that you can see I've already removed it, and the water will you just pull the rubber foot out and the water will just all pour clear of the gap. Like I say, this is not coming out the brewing vessel itself. This is water that has got trapped in between the brewing vessel and the plastic outer case because we've soaked it in the water. But this can happen. You can find that you get water trapped in here just through general washing and maintenance. If you've ever got an empty vessel but you shake your Pinter and you can hear water in it, then you will see above, I'll leave the official Pinter diagram above. All you need to do is pop one of these rubber feet out and let the water pour out and run it dry, and then give it time to dry, go through the process of your cleaning and sanitizing, and then when this has had a chance to dry out, pop your rubber feet back in, you're good to go. So now I'll move on to the second issue, and that is it goes hand in hand with the stuck carbonation valve, to be honest, and that's why I've decided to cover two problems with one video, and that is the Pinter lid can't be undone. You know, the main cap is stiff as anything. You can hear it creaking there. Now, you know, I've seen numerous tactics, if you like, to try and get this undone. One of the most common ones is to put a big brush handle in there and use that leverage to, you know, force it open. The problem with that is, you can probably guess what I'm going to say. It's very easy to snap these handles off. And if you snap the handle off of the main cap, then if you couldn't undo that with the handle on, you try undoing it with the handle off, with no handle. It's going to be a problem, and there's a chance that now you're going to, your Pinter 3 is going to be out of commission for some time, or you might not be able to unscrew it at all, and rather than buy a new cap now, you might have to go and buy a new Pinter. So I don't recommend any brute force solutions to problems with your Pinter. You know, a lot of these things are, you know, they're quite easy to damage, you know, so the same thing with the carbonation valve. I tend to take a safer approach, really. So what I'm going to suggest with this is to undo the tap, unscrew the main tap unit and remove the tap. Pop it out. I'll just get a water jug. Get some hot soapy water. Put probably 2.5 litres in, you know, sort of like probably half a pint, so you don't need loads. That'll do it. Pop your tap back in. Screw it up. Just give it a pinch. And then flip this over. Put your tap over the edge of your sink. I'll turn that carbonation valve back to 5 just to stop the water leaking out while we're doing this. And then, of course, now you're soaking the lid from the inside of the Pinter. Same method with freeing up the carbonation valve, the pressure valve, if you like. Now we're doing the same. We're soaking the inside of the lid to just, you know, work free the dryness, the sugars, anything that's sort of like gone hard and crispy and stuck that lid together. And we'll give it 10 minutes and we'll come back and the lid should unscrew nicely. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. So there you have it, 10 minutes is up now. We'll flip it back over. Try to unscrew the top. There you go, nice and easy now to unscrew. Been released quite easily by that hot soapy water. So there you go, that's the conclusion of this video, really. Two issues that you can face when it comes to cleaning your Pinter after a brew. Quite easy solutions there. You know, 10 minutes on each, hot soapy water, simple as that. No risk to damaging your Pinter. Then you can move on with your usual cleaning procedure, sanitization, get on to your next brew. I hope you enjoyed your video today. If you'd like to join our Pinter community, like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Cheers.